Okay, so thanks for jumping on this morning. I love Saturday mornings. I think more and more people will end up showing up as they see or learn about it. Madison really likes to run these kinds of calls with me, so hopefully she will be. Oh gosh, not poke me in the eye. Okay, so I wanted to start first by I'm a big like statistics numbers person. It's just how my brain is wired. I want to understand why something works or doesn't work, and uh in my opinion, so I've been doing this for 4.5 years now, and in the healthcare system since 2005. So geez, that's like almost 16 years, 15 and a half years. And I'm very passionate about helping people live their best life, but mostly that's hardwired into my brain because I want to help prevent suffering, preventable suffering that people are going through. And right now, I think we all know that this has been a really hard year, and for on so many levels for so many different people. And I think that it's important to talk about. So in my perspective and in my experience, there's never been a time that coaches are more needed. Like, really, we are in dire need for people who have a passion to make a difference in other people's lives, who have a passion to step into becoming the best version of themselves and being that positive influence around you. Whether or not we will admit it, every single one of us has a circle of influence, and every single one of us is influencing people around us, even if you don't think so, especially in our families and in our close circles. So as a coach, and I'm going to touch on this in a second, but our job literally is to become the best version of ourselves. Our job is to invest in ourselves, to figure out how we can have a vibrantly healthy, joyful life in the midst of hardship, not in absence of it. And that's one of my favorite things about what we do, is that is literally like my job is to hang out with my friends on Zoom and work out. My job is to help people work through their hard things and show them some solutions. So I just wanted to give a snapshot of some of our statistics right now in our country, and it's carrying out into countries across the world. So in June of this year, 40% of Americans reported struggling with mental health and or substance abuse, including symptoms of anxiety or depressive disorder, symptoms of trauma and stress-related disorders related to the pandemic, and having started or increased substance use to cope with stress and or emotions related to COVID-19. So I don't think that's a surprise. At least for me, I know it's not. Like the anxiety. I mean, having a baby in this year was so anxiety producing. There's people's experience. Jamie did a great post about this the other day. People's lens of challenge is based on their experiences, right? So we've got people on the front lines in healthcare or first responders who are seeing the pain of what this pandemic has caused. And then you have business owners who are losing their businesses. And then you have teenagers and parents of kids in school who are going through this horribly difficult time in isolation and being stuck in front of a computer all day. We've got so many different reasons why everyone has been just challenged so much this year. And there's so much that has happened that is not in relation to our pandemic, but just like life has been really hard this year. And so looking at the reality that it's not just us, that it's not just me, it's not just you, but the world, our country right now as a whole is really struggling with anxiety and depression. Suicide rates are through the roof, which breaks my heart, and substance abuse. And I share that because we're in the field of helping people find a community and helping people dig deep and find their sense of purpose and learn how to overcome hardship rather than being a victim of them. So the U.S. adult obesity rate, I just looked this morning actually because my statistics that I had were a little bit outdated. So we have broken records this year, unfortunately. we're at 42.4% obese. That's not overweight. That is obesity with BMI of 30 or above. For the first time ever, we've passed the 40% mark, and further evidence of and then it goes into, sorry, I lost my spot here, but the children as well are breaking records, which is so heartbreaking. So between 2 and 19 years old, current data shows that they're at 19.3% of children are obese. Again, this is not just overweight, they're obese. That's approximately 1 in 5 kids are struggling with obesity. And again, this is never to shame anyone, right? At all. This is, when we look at, this is not about like body positivity. This is about a health, like this is from my brain. We are in the middle of a health crisis on so many levels. We as coaches, we're in the health and fitness business. So we can help people to reduce their BMI that further influences their quality of life. What is the problem with obesity? Well, when you are in the obese category, there are serious health consequences. That it's not an opinion. That is a fact. If you do the research, when you are in that category, your risk for things like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, many types of cancers are significantly increased. And so what can we do as coaches with even if you have no background in health and fitness, how can you play a role in this? You have all the tools, and I'm going to show you what tools you have in your back pocket to make an impact in people's lives. You don't have to know all the things. It's already been put together for you by professionals, by fitness professionals, by world-class trainers, by nutritionists. You're just showing people like, hey, this is what I'm doing with my life. You want to do it with me. Literally, that is it. And then the last statistic here was that 1.9 billion adults 18 years and older were overweight. And of those, over 650 million were obese. And those numbers to me are, I know, it's so sad. Those numbers to me are eye-opening when people think of, can I really do this? Sister. Are there really people that need my help? Are there too many Beachbody coaches? Like, I've heard that before. Asking, like, is this still a thing? Will people really want to do this with me? If you think in a lack mindset and you're terrified and you're hesitant and you don't share like what you have to offer, then you might struggle. But if you look at the facts that 1.9 billion adults 18 years and older are overweight and 650 million are obese, there's just a couple people who sister, you can talk after, okay? There's just a couple of people who need your help. And to me, when I see that, I'm like, wow, there's never been a time. And if you look at it, the world is terrified of losing two things right now: their health and their financial security. And when I look from a solutions-oriented mindset, when I look at the job of being a coach with a company that has skyrocketed through this pandemic because there's never been a time where people need this more, we offer those two things. We offer a platform where people can invest from home, not have to go anywhere, invest in their health, have a community to support them so they're not in isolation. They have nutrition at their fingertips, learn how to do that. They have fitness to be able to do that from home with their families, whatever their schedule looks like. And that the financial side, this is a job. Like, this is a career that they can learn how to make side income. How many of you know someone who's looking for side work, anything that they could get their hands on just to pay the bills or just to put food on the table? So this is a side job. Literally, you can do from home. You work from home in a market that has never needed this so desperately. All we have to do is show people that it exists. Okay, so I'm going to go through this really quickly, but for those of you who don't know, I started on March 3rd of 2016, right after having my firstborn. This is my third that I'm currently feeding while doing this. I'm not fancy. I'm doing this in my living room. My laptop's on a pillow while feeding my daughter. Okay, so my son had just been born. I was a nurse in the prison system at the time, and we were very comfortable. White picket fence. My husband was in law enforcement and investigations at the time, and I never wanted to be a stay-at-home or work-from-home mom. That was just not something that was ever on the table for me. My personality, I was always over involved in everything since I was little, through high school and college, ASB president, like over involved in things. I got my nursing degree because I knew I wanted to be in a field, like I mentioned before, that really helped prevent suffering, and where I could be there for people when they were going through really difficult times. And that was sparked by when I was little. My dad and I were hit by a drunk driver when I was 11, and he ended up passing away from a medical malpractice incident. And so there were those two things, 100% preventable: someone getting behind the wheel under the influence and someone making a very negligent medical decision, shattered my life. And I wasn't able to recognize it until honestly a couple of years ago, why that really, those two things drove me to want to be in a field where I could prevent suffering, because it was preventable for me and my family, and I wanted to help prevent things like that from happening to other people. And that drove me to nursing school, and I got into nursing school, and I got into nursing in the profession. And while I so respect and love nurses and everyone in the medical field, you're so needed. For me, I felt something was missing, because I felt like I was just putting a band-aid on symptoms and I wasn't able to get to the root cause. And I had a lot of health issues myself that weren't able to be solved. And so I, started studying holistic health. I became a certified holistic health coach, but had a really hard time making money as a health coach on my own. I created everywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 programs with other people, and tried one-on-one coaching. And it was very hard to make a living. It was very hard to help the amount of people I wanted to help, just coaching one-on-one. And so fast forward to, I had my baby. I was working in a prison, and it was the first time I'd ever Googled work from home RN jobs. I was like, I just had this tiny human and I don't want to miss 1 second of his life. But at the time, financially, my job almost doubled my husband's paycheck, which was crazy because his job was way more difficult than mine. But I couldn't quit, and I had to go back to work. And I had just been diagnosed with a moderate to severe degenerative disc in my low back. And so I was on Facebook one day. I saw this random chick's before and after picture, and she had abs after having a baby. And I was like, what? Like, she did this from home, she was sharing about. I was familiar with Beachbody because I had done P90X before. And so I reached out to her and I was like, look, I want to do this program that you're doing, because it was 22 minutes long, the fitness program. And I want the coach membership, because I had actually signed up with Beachbody 2 previous times with the coach membership only for the discount. I never knew coaching like this existed. Like, I didn't understand it. I didn't know it was a business. I just wanted the discount. And so I told her that. I said, but I have zero time for coach. Like, I don't want anything to do with the coaching thing. I have zero time. I work 40 to 60 hours a week in a prison. I have a new baby and I have a family. And honestly, you guys, I thought I was better than Beachbody because of my background. And I was very humbled when I did my first program, got insane results, started really diving into the ingredients and Shakeology, loved the nutrition approach, to my surprise, and loved the workouts. I think I lost 16 pounds or something in my first program, and my back pain almost completely disappeared. And so during that time, before I even got anything in the mail, she was like, hey, Jessica, I know you want nothing to do with coaching, but since you have a membership, if you have any friends or family who want to do it with you and join the group I put together, here's how you can like send them a link and then they can join and you could earn a little side money. I was like, duh, why wouldn't people want to do this? It's 22 minutes a day from home. So I was like, mom, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, best friend, do this with me. This will be awesome. Check out this chick's results. This was 2 days after I actually ordered. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. And they're like, yeah, let's do it, obviously. So I signed up 4 people with a coach account. I didn't even ask them because I was like, duh, savings. And I remember my friend now, who was my coach at the time, reached out to me and was like, who are you? Like, how did you just get 4 people to sign up? You want nothing to do with this? I'm like, I just like referred them to this group because that's what you told me to do. And she was like, we need to get on the phone because you just earned, I think it was like $200. And I would love to share a little bit more with you about this. So got on the phone and she asked me 2 questions that changed my life. And she said, if failure is off the table, you could have your dream life 1 year from now. What would you want it to look like? 5 years from now, what would you want it to look like? Think about your finances. Think about where you would live. Think about your schedule, your kids. Like, what would your life look and feel like? And I remember sitting at my kitchen table and having a hard time with that question. I had a good job. My husband and I made great money. We had a healthy baby. We had like I said, white picket fence, the lab. But if I was honest with myself, I realized, well, I wouldn't be working in prison in a dream life. So there's that. But I would be still doing something of my own where I was making a difference, where I was still providing financial security for my family, but where I was doing it on my own time, where I would never miss a soccer game or a ballet recital or a first steps, or like it was my time where I was doing something fulfilling, but I was still making a great paycheck. That would be the dream. And she was like, you have no idea what you just got into. I'm really excited about this. So within 2 years of working on the side, because I was working 40 to 60 hours a week in a prison, I was able to retire from my full-time nursing job. I was making at that time a pretty regular $4,000 a month. Income disclaimer, Beachbody does not guarantee any level of income. It all depends on your own skill and effort and diligence and consistency, obviously, but I have to throw that out there. And I became a full-time coach. At that time, I had my second baby, and here we are 4.5 years later, making great money, doing this, something that I love. And we just moved our family to North Idaho, where we just literally decided one day, we got to go. We got to move for our family. This is what we want to do. And only because of my job, coaching, were we able to do that. Now I have my third baby. We've been busy in 5 years. And I'm just really thankful for the time freedom, the location freedom. My husband just decided he wasn't going back into law enforcement, and he's going to start his own business in real estate and construction. And we can only do that because of our Beachbody business. So this started with me wanting nothing to do with the business. This started with me having no idea what I was doing, working very full time in a very stressful job with a baby at home, and it has completely changed our lives. And so no matter where you are, I want you to know, like, you can start not wanting anything to do with this business and learn about it little by little if you want to. This is your thing. We will never pressure you to do anything. Okay, so let's get into really quick, what does a coach do? There are 4 vital behaviors that makes someone successful in this. Number 1, you have to be proof that what you're doing works. And this just comes down to authenticity. If you don't believe in what you're doing and sharing with people, it's not going to work. And I wouldn't want you to share something that you don't believe in. You have to love it. And if you don't love it, then maybe this isn't for you. People love different elements, right? It doesn't mean you have to love, like, I love kale and cardio so much. That's not what makes someone a good coach, right? Like, I love our community. I love helping people. I love investing in my own health and seeing my own transformation. I have come to love personal development and growing my mind so that I can be the best wife and mom possible for my kids. I love those parts of my job. I love every element of how we help people. When you love what you do, when you're proof, when you show up every day, that flows into the other parts of your business. Like number 2, literally all this means is making friends with people. If you're someone who hates other people and you don't want anything to do with them, this will not work for you. You have to be willing to connect with other people and invite them to what you're doing. And that does not mean cold calling and cold messaging random people who you have no idea who they are and saying, will you buy my product? That is not what we do. If that's what you want to do, this is not for you. Let me tell you that right now. This means whether it's on social media or at a Starbucks or at a mom's group, you're just connecting with people. And because you're doing number 1, people are going to ask you, hey, what do you do? Or what are you doing? Or you're just going to randomly say you're going to start just talking about your Saturday morning workouts and then ask people if they want to work out with you because you care, not because you're primarily trying to sell something. You share what you're doing because you care and you believe that it will really help other people just like it's helped you. That's it. And that's what that number 2 is connecting, inviting people to what you're doing. And then we have to understand people are busy and have children, and that requires us, if we really care about them, to follow up with them. When we've invited them to something, you send them a reminder, just like you would send a reminder to a party or something. You just invite them to what you're doing. Number 3 is we get people results. That is the beauty of this, is there are millions of testimonials across the interwebs from Beachbody programs. It is not a question on if it works. If people do it, it works. You have that in your back pocket. And so all you have to do is connect people to the resources, and then you build them, like you add them to our team, and you provide accountability for them and encouragement. And lastly, and probably most life-changingly, is as coaches, we do personal development. Working with people is not always easy. If you haven't realized this year, people can be difficult and mean and challenging, and can hurt people. So personal development is a must, because if you don't feed your own mind, know your own message, your own self, if you don't strengthen, I'm gonna have a screaming child walking here right now. I know. Yep, I hear it. It's going to be challenging, but this is the beauty of our team too, is that we encourage each other in this. Personal development is something I didn't think I needed. I'll be honest with you. I thought I was developed enough. Yeah, Jamie, her either. I thought that I was like, I don't know what I thought. But then I listened to my first audiobook as I was driving to work, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have so many self-limiting beliefs that I didn't even realize. Oh my gosh, I need to grow. This has changed my life. This is why I'm such a motivated person, because I do this every day. And we have different recommendations for you, but this is probably the area that's changed most coaches' lives more than anything. Okay, how do we earn income? I'm going to keep this very simple. In the beginning, it's mostly through commission. You earn 25 to 40% of what your people who you refer and recommend purchase. Usually it's approximately $50 to $150 per person you refer when they get started how you do, which is usually with what's called a challenge pack, and I'll go over that in a second. That's called front end income, where your income, the money that you earn, is based off of a transaction or time that you put in. But I will tell you right now, the power of this business is actually in the residual or back end income. That is based off of building a team. And you do not have to do that in the beginning. Do not let this be intimidating to you. I knew nothing about this in the beginning. I was just referring people, just like my Amazon link, where I send people an Amazon link and I get, I don't know, it's like 2% commission, something like that. This is much higher, but Beachbody's business model, which is unique to other network marketing models, is heavy in back end income, meaning it sets you up to work less and make more in the long run. This is a long-term career. This is not a get rich quick scheme. You can make a significant amount of money in the beginning. Some people do, but it's not as common. It is more, I want you to be successful in the long run, not just I want like a quick buck and then you don't, and you have to hustle the rest of your life. That's not what this is about. I have this month we are probably right around $4,000 in 3 weeks. And I've probably worked, maybe 20 hours this month so far, because of our family getting sick and family being here. So that's the beauty of residual income, is that you help your team be successful, and then you earn a percentage of what they make. It doesn't take anything from them. Beachbody gives you in addition to what they are making. And that I have a whole compensation plan training, but I just wanted you to understand the two differences. You can earn quarterly bonuses that range from $800 to $75,000. You can also easily earn free luxury vacations. I have earned one every single year since I started working part-time, mind you, and I've taken my husband on them every single year in a non-COVID, pre-COVID world. We just earned our trip to the Riviera Maya, if it's still on, for next year. All-inclusive resort. Last year, I took my husband on a cruise to the Bahamas, which we never would have done ever, and the whole trip was paid for. We paid for our flight, but the whole cruise was paid for me and my husband, which was just so nuts. Like, never in a million years I think a job would pay me that, and it's so much easier than you guys would think. I used to think like, oh yeah, if I like I'm in the top of the company, it's so much easier than you think. Okay, here are a couple of our real team transformations, and I love to show these because this is what we do. This is the job that we're in. This is the power of the programs that we do. All of these women on here are all coaches, and they've all had inside out transformations. All of them are mothers. All of them have unique stories. All of them are, I've just loved watching them transform. And this happened because of Beachbody. This happened because of our team. So this is the power that you're stepping into. Okay, time commitment. Honestly, you guys, this is whatever you want it to be. If you can commit 30 to 60 minutes a day, around 5 days a week in pockets, it doesn't have to be all at once. You can totally be successful in this, like very successful. That's what I did when I was working full time. We have something called a Success Club system. It's a tracker that will tell you, based on our research, the coaches that have been the most successful, these are some of the things that they do every day. And it will tell you exactly what to do, so you're not like guessing. But really, this just comes down to the 4 vital behaviors we went over. Being like doing your workouts, drinking your shake, sharing that you like it, how does it impact your life, and then just referring other people to try it with you. That's literally all this comes down to. Okay, I wanted to share really quick 5 unique tools that we have to offer that is different than anything else that you'll find out there. And I think this is really helpful when you understand coaching. 1, we have intentional nutrition. I used to go over in this webinar like the other options out there and how much they cost. And if you want to know, I can send those to you. But we have 2 premium nutrition programs created by nutritionists and registered dietitians. One of them is a professor at UCLA, came from a clinical trial at UCLA. You have that to give to every single one of the people that you refer. 2, premium lifetime access to 2 premium nutrition programs. They come with training modules, shopping lists, resources, workbooks, trackers, the whole shebang you have to offer people. Number 2, efficient fitness. We bring world-class trainers to your living room with hundreds of options for efficient fitness, from 10-minute programs to bar classes to now running programs to train to run at 5K, to weightlifting, CrossFit style, yoga, meditation now. We have everything. There is nothing like what we have to offer in the fitness category for home fitness. Number 3, supplementation. And this is where people get like, well, I like to eat my food. I eat my food too, believe me. But let me tell you, from a health professional perspective, everyone is stressed the F out right now. Everyone is undernourished and overexposed to toxins. They're overwhelmed, and this is where we need supplementation to help us feel better, because our soils are depleted. There's toxins in our air, in our water, in our food. And it's really hard to get the nutrient density that we need to feel vibrantly healthy just from food alone. And so the supplementation we have to offer, we have a clean performance line for athletes, and then we also have Shakeology, which I have training videos on YouTube if you're curious about that. A lot of people think it's just protein. That's only 1/5 of what's in it. It has powerful antioxidants, super greens, adaptogens that are proven to help support the body's stress resiliency and endocrine system, a whole digestive component in there. And it's just really powerful for health and vitality. It has changed many people's lives, and I'm thankful that we have that to offer people. Number 4, what you have to offer is coaching. Knowledge isn't power, action is power. So when you join, you get a coach. And when your people join you, they get you as their coach and they get access to our team as well. You do not have to know everything as a coach. You just have to be willing to meet someone in the middle and say, what are your goals? Let's match your tools, match these tools to you with what your goals are, and then do this with me. That's what a coach really is. And then number 5 is you get community. You get to level up with our team, Health Patriot Nation. We're a community that's dedicated to growth while impacting as many people as possible. And that community is really powerful, especially in today's day and age when everyone's isolated. You have these 5 things in one place at an insanely inexpensive price. Let me tell you, if you were to go out and spend money in all these different areas, it will cost you a lot more. I wanted to share really quick a few bullet points just about our team because I think we are unique and it does make a big difference in who you are joining and what you want to be a part of. And I will say that I am getting more and more selective on who I want to be a part of our group because I will not have toxic people coming in and ruining our dynamic and our growth community that we have. So I'm going to just read these off really quick. We are a community from various backgrounds, yet united in the mission to live our best lives. Various backgrounds, let me tell you. With the exception of a few, we attract mostly introverts who deep down know they're made to make a bigger impact beyond themselves. And I say that because that's such a common thing that gets in people's way of ever doing this. Well, I'm a very private introvert person. Don't worry, you are in great company. I promise you, besides like 2 other people on our team, I'm an extrovert, but besides 2 other people, everyone's an introvert as well. We're driven to help you succeed. This is more than just about the scale. It's about your personal transformation inside out. When you join us, you'll be constantly reminded how capable you are. We refuse to be victims and are committed to adopting the overcomer mindset. You guys, I know each of these women's stories and the things they have overcome, from all kinds, various kinds of abuse to divorce to a ton of health complications to depression to being suicidal to struggling with lifetime anxiety to medical diagnoses, so many different hardships. This group of women, our team, has overcome, and now we want to help other people overcome their valleys that they're going through. We are figure-it-outers. We are committed to live our best lives no matter what comes our way, and we're driven to share this growth lifestyle with as many who want to learn. So if that's something that resonates with you, that you want to be involved in, this is the place, and we will welcome you with open arms. So this month, we have a new program that's launching called the 9-Week Control Freak, which if you Google it, if you do 9-W, you will see Google auto-populate. It is one, it's like in the top 4 Googled things that people are researching because people are so excited about this program. Our team, I'm almost done, sister. Our team is going to start it together on January 4th. We will have subsequent, excuse you, you're going to puke all over, aren't you? We will have subsequent rounds. And then I want you to know about the Fit Friend bonus, which is just what I told you how I started. Even if you don't want to do this for a business, with a coach account, you have access to just refer people to this. That's it. Like, here's a referral link. If you want to do this with me, that'd be awesome. And then you get between $50 and $150 per person that you refer. Every Tuesday, I run a new coach training, and so I'll be doing another one this Tuesday on how to get started right and answering any questions that you guys have. And how to get started, if you are curious, if you have not yet got set up with anything Beachbody related, you would want to start with what's called a challenge pack, which is our starter kit. The base model is $160, and it includes everything that you see here. So a year access to Beachbody On Demand, your first month of Shakeology or the Performance line, to a shaker cup, lifetime access to the two nutrition programs, nutrition tools, and then you also get the business side of things. Your business website, team trainings. We have weekly coach calls every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. This month they're moved because we're doing some really cool hot seat calls. Sister, we're almost done. And you have access to all of our team support in the business side and in the fitness side. Okay. That's it. Do you guys have any questions about any of this? It's not. I'm going to let you go with your families, but thank you so much for jumping on. Is there anything that you wanted to share, James?
No, I was just going to see your face again.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for jumping on. I hope you guys all have an amazing Saturday. Say bye.
Thank you.
Oh, Kayla, you are muted. Go ahead.
Sorry. I haven't got my 9-week Control Freak bundle yet. I ordered it on like the night before that it was releasing. Is that a common thing? It says it's in Tracy right now, but I haven't gotten it yet. Is that?